Get in! Up the piss boiling Neds. But it's me, Nigel, as well, and hopefully a couple of the lads do join us this evening. But if you are in the comment section below, let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. A massive bloody 3 points this evening, Nigel, and chat. A massive 3 points. The City fans are fuming. The Forest fans are fuming. Everyone's bloody fuming in the Premier League. But like me and Nigel was saying before we come on air, we all remember that Newcastle game at Anfield when Nick Pope was lying on the ground. Tell you what, if it wasn't for the Forest players time wasting this evening, they would have come away from that game 0-0 as well. But it wasn't the case. Liverpool scoring in 98th minute as well. Nigel and chat, let us know your thoughts. What a whirlwind of emotions that game was. It was up and down. We'll go through all the big moments in the game, mate. But that is a massive 3 points going into obviously the Manchester City game come next Sunday anyway, mate. Just general thoughts off the back of that. Relief?
Yeah! General thoughts. that was the general thought.
Yeah.
It was
absolutely mad, wasn't
it? It was stunning. It really was. I mean, McAllister picks up the ball in the edge of the box for a ball that Forest shouldn't have lost on the edge of their own box.
Yeah.
For a start. Gets the ball on his right foot, turns back on his wrong foot and clips in a great ball, which Darwin does well. He was arcing his back again, kind of around himself to head it in, and it was just amazing. We never tested the goalkeeper all day.
Yeah, we'll get straight into it, mate. Obviously, the big moments within the game as well. Reds, obviously, it come from a corner. But McAllister as well, chat. I think he played extremely well today. I think the good positive aspects of McAllister's game really shone throughout. And obviously, on the end of the penalty areas, Nigel said there, I think it was Tyro 1 year, one of the lads lost it. Doesn't matter who lost it, because McAllister got on the end of it, really put a phenomenal ball into the back stick as well. And obviously Darwin Nunez getting on the end of it there, as you can see, capitalising on that and putting Liverpool on the boards, top of the league. And we've been joined by Dave. Dave,
get in, you beauty. Get in.
How are we, Dave? Just take your camera landscape if you can, please, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. There we go. Happy days. Yeah, all good.
Do you know what I was thinking today? I did say 1-0 Darwin, by the way, yesterday. The oracle has spoken. But what I'm going to say is another thing. Divock Origi, do you remember that famous goal Origi got in Newcastle? I think it was 3-2. Yeah. Actually took me top off. I was live at the time. But that win there was like an exact opposite of Origi, even though he was playing for Forest, but Nunez doing it for Liverpool. And it was absolutely huge. 99-minute winners, 99 red balloons, whatever you want to call it. Purple rain, unbelievable. What a win. 3 points. Kelleher deserves a big shout out too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll speak about that, Dave. Plenty of big moments as well. Massive thank you for joining me. Niall, the link is, I did send you the link on Twitter, mate. If you're welcome to jump on, but no worries if you're busy. But Dave, we'll get straight into obviously plaudits. Obviously the Kelleher save that you're alluding to in that first opening 45 minutes. Alanga broke through and it might have gone to VAR, but obviously Kelleher didn't really allow it to get that far. How pivotal is he going to be, not just in today's game as well, mate, but in terms of this title running?
It's huge, because we know Alisson's injury is actually worse than what we first thought, unfortunately. Yeah. And there's a chance it could be even April for Alisson. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Now, look, let's hope that's, but you're talking, we're in March already. So, another 4 or 5 weeks, you know what I mean? Is April. Yeah. 4 weeks is April. But, Kelleher, we knew he's a good keeper. He's Ireland's keeper as well. He's not number one all the time. Bazuma gets in ahead of him sometimes, but he just doesn't play enough. But when he plays, when he's that confidence, we know what he can do. I wouldn't have a worry. I wouldn't have a worry about Kelleher. I never really did have a worry about Kelleher. So he isn't the issue for me. He's unbelievable. But I'm actually delighted for Darwin Nunez today. Coming on, bit of an injury as well. We seen what he did against Newcastle. Remember the famous come on, get the double strike. But to get a 99-minute winner, is fable stuff. It's legendary status, isn't it? Especially against those Forest fans who deserve what they get today for all their bullshit, especially the first half, the chants and stuff. It was all over Twitter and X at the start of it. And I'm delighted for that fact as well. Never mind getting the 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. Well said, mate, as well. Spoiler for the very good Forest fans out there as well. But yeah, disappointing. It has always been the case when Liverpool have travelled up to the City ground, sadly. But yeah, Kelleher, and I think a lot of that save, Nigel, will very much, as Dave's alluded to, might get caught up in all the emotion as well. But I think it's a pivotal moment within the game, because how many times have we seen Alisson Becker do what Queven has done there over the last couple of seasons as well? And yeah, in terms of going into the City game, in terms of the end of May as well, as Dave said, Ali looking like he might be missing for the next couple of weeks, possibly months, if needed. But for me, I've got no qualms. Dave just alluded to him not having qualms, but I think just it will present itself now like it did today, with so many opportunities for Kelleher to hopefully win us a couple of titles come what the end of May.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an outstanding save. It didn't. It means we didn't have to go to VAR because he stopped it.
Yeah.
Because there was another couple of decisions today, and they weren't exactly. They were a little bit clearer cut than what they were doing. And they didn't go to VAR. We'll go to him later on, but the fact that he stopped it didn't give them a chance to look at VAR if he had scored. And possibly give them a goal.
Yeah.
Like Alanga shouldn't have missed that, and he shouldn't have missed that one in the second half when he put the ball wide. It was mental. I don't know how he missed it.
Yeah, obviously he's their
Thank
danger
God
man.
missed it.
Yeah, thankfully as well. He is their danger man.
Look, Jack, we don't want to paint over. We have injuries. I mean, ridiculous amount of injuries. Don't want to go into it. So it's like a bloody monopoly board. I mean, you do not pass go, whatever. But at the moment, we're getting that little bit of luck, which we weren't getting last season. A little 5%, 2%, 3% luck. Now, footballers look, it evens itself out over the 38, match seasons in the Premier League and stuff. But we're getting bits of luck at the right times, which is helping us. You grow confidence from that. Kelleher's pulling off the saves at the right time as well. Usually in the first half, we don't really. Second half, we start playing, we do better. A lot of substitutions as well. Nunez made a huge difference when he came on. Of course, got the winner. But, little things are starting to fall into place, but I still do think we're going to need another one or two of the big guns back for the big game. Guys. City next weekend. We need Salah back. Seriously.
100%, mate. And I think even, does he start Salah? I think if he's fit, you've got to put him straight in the starting 11. But in terms of Liverpool, as Dave has alluded to there, mate, it's that positive opportunity, not just for today's game as well, though, lads, in terms of as well, chat. Going into the next couple of weeks, the City game as well is massive. We have got options now, and I think Klopp spoke about that, Dave, in the press conference this week. Obviously, you spoke to James Pearce, a very good interview. Please do check it out as well, that they've done. Very well respected James Pearce of The Athletic. So, Dave, it's the rotation, and you mentioned with Salah as well. We do need that. And I'd even mentioned Dan's as well. And to the point that Niall did raise about the luck, obviously the challenge, he was entitled to go for that. Obviously, the added time was obviously due to the injury that the goalkeeper did sustain with that coming together. That it's not more than a coming together. The striker's entitled to go for it. The goalkeeper's entitled to go for it. But Dave, it's those options off the bench. And Jayden Danns, I know, for me, it might not get a lot of plaudits, but it should be for me, mate, because he had a couple of opportunities. Got dragged in the penalty area at the back end of that game. Paul Tierney could have given it a penalty. Could have given Pat.
No, his real name is Paul Tierney. Tierney, not Tierney.
But in terms of the substitutions and that impact off the bench from the substitutions as well, Dave, it was so integral. I think he even cost Astimicus his delivery when he come on.
Season, Jack. Yeah. It has been all season. It's all about the bench. It's all about the bench. That's what it's been for Liverpool. Now, when everybody's fit, we have one hell of a bench. We have an unbelievable bench when everybody, you won't even get everybody on the bloody bench. But at the moment, the young lads stepping up, and that bench, I was confident enough with that bench today. When you'd likes of Endo, Slabaside, Big Bad Dom, and you'd Dominic, you'd Darwin, and you'd Simicus, and even Kwanzaa on the bench today. I was a little bit more confident than I had been because the bench was a little bit stronger. So I knew we could change it from the bench, and especially the 5 sub rule. With a bigger squad, the 5 sub rule comes into its own, doesn't it? Because you can basically change half the team. If it's not working. I was surprised he didn't make a substitution at half time, to be fair. I was sure he was going to make. Gakpo was all over the shop. I thought he might have dropped Elliott back and maybe brought on Darwin at half time. But It worked out in the end, but it was late. It was late.
Yeah, 100% there, chat. And we'll speak about Gakpo in a little second as well. And I think fans will be rightly so disappointed. But I think, obviously, my thoughts, lads, and everyone on my channel. He's a phenomenal player. I think he's played a lot of minutes over the last couple of weeks as well. There's been a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. I think leading the line at Wembley as well, and obviously getting us through against Southampton. Obviously, he's not up to full sharpness at the minute. And I think today very much did show that as well. But I think we're going to keep it positive as well. Red's quite rightly so. But as Charlie said here, Jack, what the F is happening? What was that, mate? Feeling down most of the game, and that happens. Something special is going on here, mate, as well. And lads and ladies as well, how many times all of us, doesn't matter how long we've been supporting Liverpool, for a very long time as well, this is our way of doing things. We leave it till late, and this is what really grinds on the gears of all the rival fans, Nigel as well. And quite like so, we've done it when we've watched City. I think us as Liverpool fans, we do watch Liverpool, the City games as much as we did celebrate with that Sterling the Sterling goal a couple of weeks ago. They dropped points against Chelsea, but from a psychological point of view, Nigel, it's going to be pivotal going into, because it would have been absolutely detrimental to Liverpool's title running come what the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like, City will be fuming off the back of this result, mate, won't they?
More importantly than that, the three of us wouldn't be here right now. They hadn't scored that.
No, we would have been
here. We certainly wouldn't have been as happy. Put it that way.
No.
Yeah. But how much of a detrimental impact would that have psychologically on City's side, Nigel?
You'd be surprised. It's a little bit of it might not have
a sucker punch.
It's a sucker punch. Yeah, well, it might not have the impact that they think, but subconsciously
going into that game
maybe.
Next week, Anfield is going to be like an absolute gladiatorial arena, mate. Come what Sunday. Nunez will be going probably in his gladiatorial army, because he will be going to war for Liverpool on Sunday. As long as he stays on the pitch, that's the main thing.
I was listening. I said it to you before the start. Like, I won't listen to commentary on the channels. I turned down the sound on Premier Sports and turned on Steve Hunter and John Aldridge. Yeah. And Steve Hunter said right at the end, this has got to be in their heads. We scored late last week. Yeah. This has got to be in their heads.
Yeah.
So it's 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
We're still late. Instead of Liverpool, it's Laterpool. We're becoming super late. I mean, we're literally. I mean, United did it for years. Used to wreck Michael in the head. Fergie time. Whatever you want to call it.
The Villa game that we played a couple of seasons ago, Dave, and that title running.
Mane header.
That to me has got shades of tonight.
Yeah.
That game, this moment tonight, we'll find out whatever happens. But that to me, Dave, I was on Cop On last week, and I compared that Virgil header last week in the cup final to Sadio Mane's header that day against Aston Villa. We scored 2 late goals that day. Andy Robertson scored a header in the 87th minute. 87th minute. And Mane.
No better way to win it, though, is it? But then again, it isn't good for us as fans' hearts to be watching or pulling your hair out. If you have any hair left, there certainly wouldn't be any hair left in many Liverpool fans. Because
Mane got a kick in the face that day as well, remember.
Look, I'd rather win games 2-3, 4-0 and relax, and you can take players off.
You can't always win.
It's all about the points, baby. Yeah. Points mean prizes. I've been saying it for about 6 years. Let's go.
100%, lads. Just keep on positivity as well going into whatever happens. Obviously, the game on Thursday night is going to be a very tough away European game. And probably might play a couple of the kids, but let's not forget our lads, the young lads are coming through, are doing us extremely proud. Obviously, Jaden Dans, Bobby Clark as well, who for me had a very good game today. I know, obviously, it could have been out of his comfort zone, but he didn't look out of place, and that's probably Connor Bradley as well. It's probably one of the biggest compliments you can play to these young Liverpool players as well. They're not looking out of place when they're arriving today. And Connor,
you know what the biggest compliment is as well? That you're not actually mentioning that about them after the game. Yeah. You're not mentioning mistakes. You're not mentioning bad passes. You're not saying anything. They're just blending in. They're just blending in.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, Dave, as a fan base, even if they do make the mistakes, and they might do in a couple of weeks, but as a fan base, let them make mistakes. That's how they develop. That's how they improve. That's how they understand in terms of their tactical aspects. I think
There were a couple of mistakes today, but it wasn't the kids.
Yeah. It's mistakes will happen in this title running, and there's so much jubilation, and rightly so, off the back of this result as well. But as a fan base as well, regardless of whatever happens next week, whatever happens with City, just keep on believing as a fan base, because this is a very special year. How many times me and Dave have been on YouTube for a very long time as well. We've had our ups and downs, but one thing that is always going to be this Liverpool side and this Jurgen Klopp side as well will give us absolute all up until the 99th minute as well today. Let's get to everyone's comments as well. Make sure you are smashing a like on the video as well. Can the mods please drop Dave's channel link in the description? It'll be very much appreciated. Head over, subscribe. Dave's already on 10k. Let's get him to 20k now. Dean, big up there, mate. Get in there, Jack. Lad, feels hugely significant that lads up the fucking Reds. 100% there, Dean. 100%. Reverend, I big up Jack and the lads. Wow, the rivals crying about added time. Didn't watch the game clearly. Yeah, well, it's the majority of most rival fans. It's the TikTok generation that watch games in
TikTok boys.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
TikTok, T-H-I-C-K.
Yeah, the TikTok. Did you watch it in small margins? It's the fans that can't hardly sit through
Look,
it.
they think it's Liverpool's fault. Liverpool don't control what VAR referees do. Believe it or not, they just don't. Nothing to do with it.
100%. Liverpool's 12th man, top of the league. To my Reds in the chat, and big up there, matey. Hope you're well and you enjoyed that. Amen. All right, the lads. God, we needed that. We did, mate. We well and truly did. Great to see everyone as well. Big up there as well. Got to go. I know Arsenal and City fans must be fuming. God's team march on. Yeah, 100% there. Yeah. But big up there, Gary. Talio all 1-0. Get in. It's absolutely phenomenal, lads, in all honesty. I think going into what will be an absolutely massive game, probably one of the biggest games we've had with City over the last couple of weeks. Dave, but obviously we've got the Europa League. Go into the Europa League game, Dave. Do you anticipate a lot of changes off the back of today's game? Would you play a couple of players in terms of into rhythm?
I don't think you've any choice, Jack. You know what I mean? We cannot lose that game at Anfield next Sunday. Certainly not, maybe draw, but certainly not lose it. I mean, you look at it, the close times we've lost twice by 1 point against City. We lost to them in that season. And that was it's a 6-pointer. It's the famous 6-pointer. If you beat them, it's unreal. You know, it's wow, let's go. Even if you draw, it sort of stalemates it out. It's another game gone.
Yeah.
But if you lose, it's a 6-pointer. It's a 6-point swing. So Thursday night is important. That's a tough ground to go to. That Sparta Prague game Thursday night. I wouldn't be going too weak. I really wouldn't, because you want the second leg at Anfield to have something to play for. You know, that type of way. Away goals don't count or anything like that. So really, it's a really precocious time. It's going to be, has to be careful what he does. Don't go too weak. Don't go too strong. It's a bit like a Goldilocks thing, isn't it? Not too hot, not too cold, just right. That's what Klopp's got to do. But obviously, all eyes have to, I suppose, go on till next Sunday, don't they? I mean, that is the big one.
It's difficult. It's difficult not to, mate. Yeah, us fans, I think, and rightly so, will be bouncing into this weekend with a lot of optimism. If you're going out into the town tonight, enjoy it.
Me dog is happy, Luna.
Hello. Yeah, there we go. Happy days. But Nigel, I think obviously Dean's mentioned that goal as well. I think in terms of, we'll quickly go back onto that goal because it is the big moments as well. And he's mentioned obviously McAllister's delivery into the penalty area there, mate. He has become probably the most important, obviously rightly so, Salah, Virgil van Dijk. But in terms of Liverpool, if we are to go on to this and win absolutely everything, hopefully this season, mate, but Alexis McAllister again tonight, as Dean said, that ball from McAllister, that is Xabi Alonso-esque. It's De Bruyne-esque delivery into the penalty area, because look at that, mate. Just talk us through that goal, Nigel, if you can, mate. It's the delivery.
Well, Forrester whinging and giving out about at the end of the game, whatever, I might even got booked or something like that, but they had that ball on the edge of their own box.
Yeah.
And McAllister won it. Turned back off his right foot, back onto his left foot, and swung over that ball with his left foot. And if you look at the two players, they're actually both watching the ball, as is Darwin. as a centre forward should be doing. There's none of them actually watching. There's none of them actually watching Darwin. If you look at it. The other defender on Virgil has Virgil kind of in the right place, if you know what I mean. He's behind him. The other two are not behind Nunez, so they give Nunez a chance to run into the space. If you see where he's standing there in that still at the moment.
You just want him to attack it, don't you?
Yeah, they gave him a chance to run into the space. Now, if the defender had been where the guy marking Virgil was, he mightn't have had a chance to run into that space.
Yeah, it's all about
and get a jump on the defender.
Yeah.
And just one more thing about it at the end. When the ball hits the net, what's the first reaction of one of our players, apart from the guy celebrating? Virgil van Dijk picks the ball up out of the net, puts it under his arm, and runs over to celebrate with the ball under his arm.
Slow it down.
Exactly.
That's that elite mentality as well.
It is.
Your face there, Dave. And it's and how many times have we seen this in terms of that's elite level football at its peak there, Dave? Even when we see it when we get penalties as well. I think Van Dijk protects. Obviously, Salah just tells him to go away, protects the penalty spot as well. But it's small margins that make a massive difference going forwards as well, Reds.
Yeah.
But 100% there, Dean, is an extremely elite ball. Or is it, as Preston said, Agent Nico Williams? Yeah, I did notice when he had a bit of cramp, he didn't time waste, which is all well and good there, Nico. You know what to do. Like a style, really, Van Dijk, 100%. But in terms of statistically speaking about this game, obviously the most important statistic from Liverpool in today's game is, of course, obviously that 1-0 score line. But Dave, prior to that goal, prior to the goal, it could have been a very different story. But thankfully for Liverpool, it wasn't. But look at that, so many created chances by Liverpool, and it was the newspaper articles, the headlines had already been writ before the ink was even dry. But it looked like it was going to be one of those days, Dave, in terms of we created so many chances and extremely wasteful in the final third of the pitch.
Yeah. Look, it's never over until it's over with this team and with Klopp. And the mentality monster seems to be back, guys, especially this season. It seems to be back. As I say, I think you create your look as well. You can create your own look. If you keep going, if you keep pressing, if you keep trying, if you keep looking for options, keep looking for openings. If you keep going, one of them is going to break for you. That's the one thing I would say about it. You know, yeah, you can get caught at the back. You can look to Kelleher to save you every now and again. Your defender, Van Dijk and stuff like that. Remember his header back in between two players, straight back to Kelleher. Like stuff like that. But I think it's the mentality of keep going, keep going. That's what it's all about. We'll get the chance. Believing you'll get the chance, even in the 99th minute. You know what I mean? Still believing. Once the ball's in play, the referee hasn't got the whistle in his mouth, you've always got a chance, especially with this team. With the likes of Darwin, chaotic Nunez on the pitch, you've always got a chance to win it. And as you say, McAllister deserves a big mention there because he's been absolutely brilliant since he came back from that injury. We've missed him when he was injured. Shows you what he has going forward. He has so much in his game. He scored, I think, 10 goals for Brighton that season. I mean, he's so much going forward. As in creative, other than stop and play, he's really good at creating stuff and scoring goals himself. Yeah,
and another lad that I think we haven't mentioned, but rightly so, I think for me deserves his plaudits. Joe Gomez, Nigel, done the job in the six, wasn't quite working, not just because it was Gomez in there, done an extremely good job. Obviously taking Andy Robbo off and then putting Gomez to that left side of that midfield, the defensive three anyway. Yet again, he's Mr. Consistent for Liverpool this season. We all know his qualities and his footballing qualities as well. But I think Gomez, and we'll go through a couple of individual performances. We mentioned McAllister, but I think come at the end of May, Nigel, that Joe Gomez, rightfully so, should be getting his flowers off the back of today's performance. But in terms of this season as well, he's going to be absolutely instrumental for me.
Absolutely. 100% deserves a nomination for one of our players of the year. He's been phenomenal. He's been asked to play in so many different positions. He's played all across the back four. He's played in midfield, which is just like not his natural position. I thought today the problem was we were trying to play a little bit too much through him when he was six.
A bit too
much. There was a little bit too much sideways and a little bit and holding on to the ball a little bit too much, which we tend to do if we come up against a low block. We tend to hold on to the ball too long. And everything that was coming, they closed him down a couple of times and won a couple of balls back.
Yeah.
He's not used to the position. So any place he's gone this season, he's been really good. So
I'd say he'd be a good goalkeeper.
Well, hopefully we don't need
hopefully
him.
Hopefully we won't be finding that out.
But yeah, that's the only position he needs to fill in
Mr.
as well.
Versatile. Mr. Joe Dave Gomez. But the other thing about him is, I mean, he came in from Charlton at the time, a young lad, was the next big thing. He's had two unbelievably bad injuries. And to come back this season and play the way he is, it's not only that. We know he can play centre-half. We know he can play full-back. We know he can play in midfield as a six. Let's be real here. But it's his consistency. He got a lot of slagging last year, Jack. I mean, I've seen a lot of slagging. What's he doing on the pitch? What's he even doing on the bench? Never mind.
Even Gakpo got that today as well, which I don't get as well. But carry on, lad. Yeah, carry on.
I've got to go in about 2 minutes, guys, but I'm just over the moon. Absolutely over the moon with that.
Like, Dave, let me know your closing thoughts going into the City game, mate. Obviously,
well, obviously, we got to get that Sparta Prague game out of the way Thursday night. That won't be easy, but the big one I think is next Sunday, of course. A huge one at Anfield. Anfield will be rocking. What a game to get a ticket for that! I mean, it's going to be Willy Wonka golden ticket stuff to get a ticket for that one. But I'll be buying the chocolate bar, hoping to get a Willy Wonka chocolate bar for that one. But as I say, hope Mo Salah can get back in. Even to have him on the bench would be a big confidence boost. Let's hope. Let's see what happens there. Get the players back. Get the confidence going. Get Anfield rocking and rolling 60,000+. We'll give them a game next week, baby. Let's go. This means more. Stay safe. Talk soon,
Look after
boys.
yourself, Dave. Thank you for that, lad.
All the best, Dave.
All the best, Dave. I have dropped Dave's channel link in the description. That's Dave LFC Chats. You know who he is. If you haven't seen his interview that he done with James Pearce this week, they're a very good, insightful interview, as always, with James Pearce. And there's a couple of other great interviews Dave's done over the last season as well. But we've mentioned Joe Gomez, and rightly so. I think in terms of when you do look at tactically as well, I think Endo coming on the 60th minute for Bobby Clark, I think that give Liverpool that bit more intensity, bit more of the bite in the midfield, obviously winning the ball higher up the pitch, just allows Liverpool to really just push a couple more players, a bit more further up the pitch, as we did see at the back end of the game as well. Obviously, Costas coming on for Conor Bradley in the 84th minute, but obviously the change for Jayden Danns coming on for Gakpo in the 84th, but obviously the big... And what I loved, probably coming off the back of this as well, Nigel and chat, was the reaction from Harvey Elliott. A lot from outside Liverpool might get, Elliott's kicking off, but that's what you want. It shows that elite mentality that Elliott believed in himself, that he could have won Liverpool the game. But you want to be seeing that. You want to be seeing that reaction, and he'll be disappointed. He bleeds red, but
it was disappointment. It was disappointment in coming off and thinking maybe he didn't have the greatest game there today. Maybe now he did okay. He did fine. I thought he actually won a couple of balls back there in the first half that he had no business winning back.
Yeah,
I thought he was very, very good, and he has been. I have my doubts about Harvey a lot of the time, and lacking pace and lacking size and stuff like that. But the last month, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And if Kevin Kelleher hadn't been having the last month that he's had, he's definitely in the shout for Player of the Month. Yeah, I reckon Kevin Kelleher will get it, but he's definitely in the shout.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's what probably played into the part of Klopp taking him off. Obviously, you want him to keep him fresh. Obviously, 120 minutes at Wembley. Obviously, he played at Southampton as well. And over the last couple of weeks, he's played a lot of minutes. And we know Elliott's just come back from obviously last year's injury, or the year before, that he did sustain. It was a big key injury, and obviously just shows the mentality. And as Zane said there, it's the mentality of this team is absolutely outstanding. There we go. Been speaking far too much over the last 3 hours anyway. But in terms of that, we've mentioned Nunez's impact. I think, and rightly so, we've got to speak about Nunez again and keep on speaking about them. And that will give him so much confidence, so much belief as well. Chat, I'll ask you and ask Nigel as well. Does Nunez start leading the line against Manchester City? I think he has to, surely.
Stick him up on top of Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is suspect. Stick him right in on top of Kyle Walker and get that ball moving down that left wing. You can switch Diaz to the other side or switch Diaz down the middle. Start Darwin Nunez out on that on their right or left, and give him and use the channel.
Yeah,
just say to him, Darwin, take him from out to in and into out and run him around. He won't know what's after hitting him.
Yeah, and I think we've already seen a couple of goals. Obviously, City absolutely slapped the arse of Luton, quite rightly so, because Haaland's 1 week wages could facilitate the running of that football club anyway. But I think it's a great point that you've raised there, Nigel, in terms of going into the City game as well. Obviously, we've got a European game, but I think it is all eyes, not just in England, but in terms of European football as well. The two best footballing sides in the whole of world football over the last 5-6 year period have been Manchester City and Liverpool as well, rightly so. But it's a great point you've raised there, Nigel, in terms of getting at City in those wide areas. I think Lucho today had a very good game. I think he was frustrating by himself, a couple of chances that he created himself. I think what I'm loving about Diaz's game is you're getting a bit more confidence, a bit more belief in terms of cutting off that left-hand flank, something that we did see a lot of times in that Porto before he moved from Porto to Liverpool as well. I think he had a great chance in the first half where it was Danilo, obviously the Brazilian centre-half, just somehow getting a touch onto it. Doesn't matter what part of his body it hit, he was in the right position at the right time as well. But it's exciting, Nigel. It's exciting, Liverpool fans as well. Wherever you are watching around the world, just enjoy every last second and keep on believing. Keep on, never give up, as I said, from the title. Doesn't matter if we're in the 99th, 105th, 118th minute at Wembley. These Liverpool lads have done us extremely proud and will continue to do us extremely proud.
Well, that's the mentality the players have.
Yeah.
So who are we to doubt them if they can keep going and going and going and win with 2 minutes to go last week in a final where they must have been completely drained? And like you saw Harvey Elliott's reaction when Virgil scored last week. He was lying down on the ground with his two arms up in the air. He could barely move. And Klopp said about Endo last week, he said he'd never seen a player whose legs seized up as much. You know, and yet these two guys are out there today again. And we're scoring a 98-minute winner. I mean, it must be killing for the opposition for that to happen. It must really be killing. And City have to come to Anfield now next week.
I cannot wait for that, mate. It's going to be chance as well.
It's going to be electric. I mean, electric. You could like, if someone is having trouble paying their electricity bills, plug it into Anfield next week.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy, mate, in all honesty. The atmosphere, I think, good luck to, congratulations for anyone that's got a ticket for that. But it doesn't matter, not just even if you're at Anfield, around the world as well, the pubs, or if you're going around to your mates, wear your Liverpool shirt with pride, wherever you are watching it. The power of not just Anfield, but the power of Liverpool supporters from around the globe, we need it. We need it. And we got that game. There's going to be a lot of fantastic football on show as well. As I said before, two of the best teams in the last 5 years, 5-6 years on the planet. All eyes will be on it. All the Spanish, Soja, Barcelona, Real Madrid. This is the El Clasico of English football in the last 5-6 years. I think I'm excited. And it is going to be one hell of a game. And that's the most important thing as well, chat. This is how important this result was. Getting this result over the line. It's difficult, I know, for all of us as fans, get too far ahead of ourselves. The players won't. So that's the most important thing. That's the mentality that has been instilled within this Liverpool side so far under Jurgen Klopp. And everyone go, one league title. No, yes, we've won one league title, but look at the opposition that we have been up against. Regardless of whatever off the field nonsense that City, we know the charges that are impending, allegedly, as well. But two of the best footballing sides as well on planet Earth and going toe to toe. It's going to be probably the final chapter, hopefully, in the Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool versus Pep Guardiola as well. It's going to be exciting. Big up there, lads, as well. Bloody hell. Sorry, Kev, the link's there. Get Kev's thoughts as well. Jump in, mate. You know what I'm like. Oh, yeah, I've sent out a message to everyone going live at 6:45. Apologies there. But, yeah, as Linda said, big up there, Linda. Nunez must start against, obviously, Manchester City as well. I don't know, but a win against City is really unlikely. Big up there, Ninja. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible as well. We know their footballing qualities Ninja. But let's not forget, this Liverpool side this season, Nigel, have been absolutely phenomenal in terms of games like today. But even when, and that's the thing to come off the back of this as well, we're not always going to win every single game 3 or 4-0. Football doesn't work like that. I think some people in our fan base need to actually remind themselves as well. This is Liverpool. We don't do the things the easy way, to say the least, anyway. But it's these results, these 1-0s, Nigel, are so important now to the end of May, mate. Even if it's 1-0 against City next week, that's all we need to do. That's the job we need to do.
If that game today had stayed 0-0 and we hadn't won, it would kind of really dilute next week. But the fact that we won today, it's going to lift that atmosphere. I mean, our fans, I really, really hope, will make it absolute bedlam there next week. An absolute hellhole for any opposition to walk into. Well, and that City will be looking up into the stands and going, "Oh my God, do you hear that?" Like that LA last week at Wembley, before we scored, by the way.
Yeah, it does seem like every single game Liverpool will have in the last couple of weeks, obviously for the travelling cop, for the lads and ladies that were lucky enough to go to Wembley, Anfield South anyway. It seems like that every Liverpool fan, the interviews I've watched, a great podcast I've seen and listened to as well, that have the lads and ladies that have gone, it seems like they've all got memories that they've spoke about, that it's, that was the best atmosphere I've seen in years. But this Sunday coming up, and obviously the game on Thursday, we can't kind of get too ahead of ourselves, but Nigel and chat, that Anfield atmosphere is going to be hopefully one of the best that we've ever witnessed under Jurgen Klopp as well. Everyone speaks about the Dortmund game. Obviously disappointing that we didn't win that Europa League game, but obviously the Dortmund game, the Chelsea game that I was very fortunate to have gone to as well, when Salah drifts off the flank and buries it to make it 2-0. The Anfield atmosphere that day was electric. It was loud. The players couldn't even think about it as the atmosphere that we had against Luton as well. Obviously, fair play to obviously the Luton manager coming out saying his players have never experienced anything like that, but that will leave them in good stead in terms of come at the end of this season as well. But yeah, happy days there. United will do nothing tomorrow. We've got to beat City ourselves as well. 100% there, Abens. Oh,
yeah, but we're after putting the doubts in City's mind now, though. Yeah. That's the thing. You never know. We're after putting the doubts in there. We won today late. I mean, it's just let's try and remain positive here.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's try and be positive.
As Professor said there, I'm just glad City don't have Mahrez. Yeah, what a talented footballer it is. Happy days he's in Saudi playing as
Remember that one he kicked over the bar in the last minute from a penalty?
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, that big game in the Champions League as well. And as Tony said there, big up, mates. Good to see a couple of new faces in here as well. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well, Reds. Massive does help out. It's great to see a couple of new faces and the regulars in here as always. We need to go at City. If we are cautious, we'll lose. 100% there, Tony. It's the only way Liverpool, as all of us fans know, just go at them, be that wave upon wave of Anfield atmosphere. The crowd will be up for it. Everyone watching around the world, Liverpool fans. Yeah, but as Linda's saying, praying for United draw. I think there's more chance of all of us winning the lottery than United getting points that's against City anyway. But funny things have happened in football. And well done on your win there as well. Big up there, Kenobi. Yeah, a hard-earned win, but fair play. It has to go to the Forest players as well. Made it difficult, but at the end of the day, Liverpool grinded out what was hopefully come what the end of May. This could be the 3 points that we did have against Aston Villa away in that title running when we did win the league. It's a long way, Nigel, but closing thoughts from you, mate. Going into the City game now, obviously the Sparta game midweek as well on Thursday night. Just same intensity for you?
Yeah. Positive attitude. Get in there and like I said, the crowd are going to be absolutely on fire. Well, let's start on fire. Let's go out there and give them something to be on fire about. Let's get out there and get stuck into City. You know, leave one on Haaland. No problem. You know, leave a couple of studs in his neck. I don't mind.
No,
you know what I mean? Let them know you're there. Let's get out there.
Yeah,
don't lie down.
A soda badge, I wouldn't say that, mate. I wouldn't say we don't really want to be seeing that in terms of obviously any player. We want to be seeing a 50-50. You want to see the intensity as well. Typical James Mill on the tackle as well. But you always do need an intensity that will be there as well with Manchester City when it comes to Anfield. And I think in terms of obviously City with their quality, they'll especially to be hoping that Kevin De Bruyne is fully fit, obviously being coming off the bench in recent weeks as well, mate. But I'd say just go into that game, give it our all, and just let our football doing the talking for both sides as well, because we can't be doing, even with City fans, they know themselves. I think Pep Guardiola will say to his team, we need to go to Anfield and win. And if they can do that, let's hope not. But let's believe, Reds. The most important thing is belief off the back of today's game as well. Believe in this Liverpool team. If you were doubting us before this game, even Liverpool, certain sections of our fan base, keep on doubting us, because we will keep on winning. We'll keep on believing, getting behind this Liverpool side as well. But it's been an absolute credit, mate. Massive thank you, Nigel. Massive thank you to Dave, LFC Chats as well. But most importantly, a massive thank you to every single one of you this evening as well. If you are watching on the repeat, do get your comments in as well. Let us know your thoughts on the game. What really stood out for you? But just Reds, as the title and the thumbnail does say, just never give up with this Liverpool side as well. But Reds, we go into, obviously, Everest, best of luck with the job interviews as well, mate, as you were saying on the watch along. Let us know how you do as well. But Reds, look after yourself. A massive thank you as well. Enjoy your weekends, and let's hopefully, fingers crossed, United kind of do something. But I doubt it. But you never know in football. Nigel, Reds, look after yourself. Hit that subscribe button down below. Drop a like on the video as well. Massively does help out. But as Reds, keep on believing.